Hello and welcome to another episode of Midwest Container Home. So, I know it's been a while since I made a video um, giving you guys some updates and having the talk. So, since then, some advancements have been made. So, I have continued to backfill. I have moved dirt. So for those of you guys who watch previous videos, you will see that I had a whole mountain of dirt here, which is the dirt that came out of the basement. So I took that down and spread that, and then I scooped the rest of it and backfilled around the house. So you will see that it covers the windows a little bit. That's not a problem for now. That allows me to control the flow of water, so water can flow away from the house for now. So when it's time to finish around the window, I will scoop the dirt out, put the window wells, and then push the dirt around it. So that's not much of an issue right now. So look over there, we have electricity in the house right now. So I no longer need to drag extension cords all the way from the transformer over there into the house. I currently have a web of extension cords in the whole building, so because I was pulling it from here. So now it's in the house. Yay, yay, yay. Hasn't been installed yet, but it's within the house. I also have my 240 volt outlet in the house as well. So that's where we are right now. So you can see that I scoop all the dirt around. That helps to control the water. So you can see the path the water is following now. The water is coming down around that little mount of dirt, or around the little berm that I kind of formed, and it's going all the way down. So this is the first big rain since I did this that allows me to see the area that are not low enough to channel that water all the way down. So the goal is for any water that's flowing coming from north not to get to the foundation. That's the goal. So for any of that water, it needs to hit this berm here and run all the way around it and straight down around the berm. So we're gonna have a little courtyard down there. So you will see that I cut the dirt down. I'll be having some retaining walls all around, and all that will be pavement. So I'll have a retaining wall, all that will be pavement. But that's a long-term plan, not right now, but should be within the next few months. At least if I can get the retaining walls in there to retain the dirt, and then dump some field sand and then gravel, I think it'll be a good start for now, at least, so that the dirt doesn't go back down, so that the water doesn't go back down. And then I think we'll be fine there. Yeah, that's about it. So the actual entrance to the whole yard and to the garage is going to be around here. So you will see my not so perfect skid loader walk here. See that some areas have a little bit of a dip. That's okay. I'm not a professional, not claiming to be, but the essential of the walk is done. So all that water, as you can see, the watermark, it's flowing out exactly as intended. So the way it was before, water was flowing towards the foundation. So that's what I changed. So yeah, the big boy grill is here. That's from the 4th of July. So the family was here, and this is where we did our little thing, barbecue and fireworks for the kids. So that's the update for now. On the inside, just finishing up the concrete columns. As you can see, all the imperfection from the days of the pour. So those will be finished. Those will be cleaned up. Not exactly cleaned up, not shaved yet, but at least finished all the way and tied to the bottom wherever they're not. So there were some areas that were incomplete, so those are getting finished. That's the job right now. While we're waiting for 2 major milestones that should be happening within the next 2 weeks or so. Well, the first one will be within the next 2 weeks, and that is water. So we're having water brought all the way down from the main street to the property. That's over 1,600 foot, maybe more than that. So all the way from the road clear all the way to the building. So the plan is to have water brought to the basement, which is where the hookup and distribution will go to the house. But at 3 additional corners of the house, we are planning on having water hydrants, so that water hose can be hooked up from any corner of the house and used that way, because the house, the footprint is a little wider. So having only one distribution point, one hydrant may not be wise. So now that we have the chance, we have the opportunity to make that decision, it is best to just go ahead. There'll be a hydrant here, one there, and one to the northeast corner. The northwest corner is where the water will arrive on the building. So, but that one will go straight into the basement. So that's where we are. So as you can see here, that's the dirt that I kind of cut down and pushed. And then yeah, you can see that it's not exactly flat, but the goal was not to get it flat, but was to raise the areas that are filled, because it will sink, it will settle. So when it settles, all the areas around that are kind of high, that are looking high right now, it will all drop. So what else have we done in here in the meantime? So not a ton of stuff. A lot more has been done upstairs, but what we've done here is to finish the concrete columns, like to pour and complete, seal it all the way to the top. That's what it looks like right now. That's what it looks like. You can see that the rebar is sticking out to this floor here. That is intentional. There's some areas where the rebars were a little longer. We were okay with that because this floor here will be a concrete floor. So that will kind of merge into the floor. So that's okay. So we have about, I think we had altogether, we had 4, 6, I think we have about 16 concrete columns under the house. So each column is about 11 foot high. So 11 foot from the floor. So 11 foot high, 2 foot wide, and what is it? 8 foot. So 2 foot by 8 inches. So let me come again. The height of each column is 11 foot. The length of the column is 2 foot, and the weight is 8 inches. But when you add the forms, because we use ICF for those, when you add the ICF forms, the width is about 13 inches, so just over a foot. So all of those have been filled. So all the gaps around here were intentional because I needed more room so I can align those columns. So they will be covered. They'll be covered with plywood, and because concrete will go right over that stuff. So all of that. So water will be here within the next 2 weeks, and after that we are having the roof we're having the roof started. So some big project going on this month. So every time we have big project, which also means big expenses, we don't do a lot. We don't do a lot just because we are saving to wait for it. So since the last project, we have not really done much that involved a lot of expenses, just because all of the savings need to go in those big projects. So that's kind of how we're doing it. So in between big projects, we might do small things, but really the finality is to get to the big project, because that's where the big expenses are. So once the trusses are up, we will see if we can get insulation, spray insulation sprayed before the boards can go on the trusses. If we cannot, we can do that at a later time. So it's about what's the surface of that roof, the area that needs to be spread. It's about that needs to be insulated under the roof. I want to say about 2,200 square foot that needs to be insulated. So perfect scenario will be that it be insulated before the roof goes on, before the roof gets completely covered. So pretty much trusses, insulation, boards, and shingle. So that's the perfect sequence, but it may not work out that way. So we may end up putting the roof without insulating in it, but then we're gonna have openings. So at a later time, we can have the insulation guys come through and go in it to spray it. So so that's where we are. So that was an update from Midwest Container Home. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and stay updated. There's a lot going on. It is not always apparent until it's done. It is slow. It is visibly slow. That is intentional. That's the way we knew it was going to go. It may not work for someone else, but for us, it works 100%. That's part of our plan. So this will be slow, and we are fine with it. Well, thank you very much for watching. You have a great day. And this was an update from Midwest Container Home.